Y'all ever had a dream where you felt like you're on an acid trip? Well, I get them all the time. Whenever I go to sleep, I feel like I'm in a Rick and Morty episode. Just the most random stuff happen. And the worst part about it is that my brain can never tell that it's fake. So whenever I'm in a dream, it feels like it's real life until I actually wake up. Hey, today's going pretty good. So I'm gonna tell you about all my dreams and nightmares that I've encountered in the last 17 years of my life. And trust me, they're wild. Okay, so the earliest dream that I had that I could remember was from when I was like 4 years old. So it was me at my preschool and I'm just chilling in the monkey bars, right? I'm hanging there by myself with no one else around. And then I'm like, man, my arms are getting kind of tired. And so I turned around so I could get off. And for some reason, Sid from Ice Age is right there breathing down my neck. He was just staring at me with malicious intent. And I couldn't get off because he was blocking the way and he wouldn't move. I think the reason I got this dream was because of the fact that Ice Age was my favorite movie at the time and it was still fresh in my 4-year-old brain. But I don't know why the dream had to be so weird. Like, Sid looked so untrustworthy. And this wasn't a one-time thing. He kept appearing in my dreams out of nowhere with that creepy smile. The only other dream that I can remember from when I was younger was actually traumatizing. So you know the little Furby toy things that used to be really popular? You know, the one with the little ears and the beak? Okay, so they used to be on commercials all the time whenever I was trying to watch Go Diego Go. And they always gave me a bad vibe, like I knew something wasn't right about them. And one night, I had a dream where I was just laying there in my bed and the door was cracked open a little bit. And all of a sudden, the other side of the door started glowing red. So I'm laying there thinking, bro, what is about to happen right now? And then the door just busts wide open and boom, 2 demonic Furbies were at my door with red glowing eyes just standing there. And I was too afraid to move, so I just stared at them waiting for them to do something. But nah, they just stood there and glowed their eyes at me. You can't even blame me for that dream though. Those toys look kinda creepy anyway. What kind of person makes these and then calls them a toy for children? They look like one of the evil toys from Toy Story 1. Now the rest of these dreams that I mentioned are from when I was much older, so they get much more weirder and confusing. Like there was this one dream where I straight up ate a whole snake. So it was me just chilling in the living room with my family, right? And then out of nowhere, this really big snake walked in and started to make that hissing sound they do when they go like, it was just threatening my family and I was like, nah man, you can't come in here and do that, you know? First I tried to throw stuff at it because why would I want to go near that thing? But it kept dodging my attacks. And then it slithered right next to me, so I did the most logical thing you could do. Yo, what the f— And for some reason, it actually had a taste, even though I was dreaming, and it tasted like Expo markers. It was so nasty, it woke me up and I had to go drink some Listerine. Before I go into the next dream, let me ask y'all something. Have you ever had a dream based on what you hear while you're sleeping? For example, if I fell asleep while watching TV, my brain will hear whatever the TV said and then turn it into a dream. Or if my brother was playing Fortnite and he was yelling at the screen while I was asleep, I would hear that while I'm sleeping and then my brain would turn it into some kind of dream somehow. So if he yelled at the screen saying, "You suck," I would dream about him saying that to me. I was just wondering if that happens to anyone else. I wish I could just talk to myself while I sleep so I can get myself to dream whatever I want. Females. Okay, next dream. So this dream happened when I was in middle school and I would play a lot of GTA with one of my friends. Let's call him Sim. By the way, this is the same guy that witnessed me breaking my phone with the controller in my Android video. We were actually on a Skype call when it happened, so he saw the whole thing play out from the phone's perspective. Anyways, we would play GTA 5 every day that summer. So one night after playing all day, I went to sleep and I had this dream where these gang members from the game called the Ballas were in my neighborhood. It was just a bunch of them next to my house partaking in illegal activity. And I saw them and started to panic because I thought they were gonna rob me or try to sell me drugs or something. That dream just told me that I needed to take a break from that game. Imagine how down bad you gotta be to dream about a video game. That's just embarrassing. This next one is pretty dark actually. So it started with me staring out of my window and there was like a random ledge on the other side even though there was no ledge there in real life. And I see something crazy. My little brother is standing there on the ledge. So right away I'm like, hey, get off of there. Come back into the house. And he looked at me in the eye. And then he just jumped off. Just straight up dived off the ledge, perfect form and everything. He didn't even hesitate, he just flung off the side. And before I could see what happened next, I woke up shaking for like 5 minutes. First because I was freaked out. And second, I was kinda mad because he really just looked at me dead in the eye and jumped off just to disrespect me. Like, listen to me sometimes. And then I have dreams that just make me more anxious than I already am. Okay, so it started with me and a few other people in front of this elementary school. And apparently we were all planning to rob the school like it was a bank or something. I know, it's crazy, just stay with me. So we put on some masks and we rushed into the front door. Boom, boom, boom. Get on the ground. And now you're probably wondering, what are you gonna steal from an elementary school? Pencils? Good question. We went into every classroom and guess what we stole? Their water. Water! Out of all the cool things my brain could have made up, it decided stealing water cases was interesting. So I got some water cases, put them on my shoulder, and ran out with the rest of the crew. And we got into our getaway vehicles, which were Honda Civics. I hopped in and I was breathing so hard in the passenger seat knowing we just pulled off the biggest heist in America. The driver dropped me off at my house and I left the water in his car so he could take it somewhere safe. As I was walking into my house, I started getting super anxious and worried. So I sat on the couch real casual and tried to act normal. And I turned on the news and the school that we just robbed was on the screen. This just in, 4 armed individuals have broken into an elementary school and stole all their water supply. Police have no leads on the suspects except for one. One black man was seen fleeing the scene with a helmet on. Uh-oh! And when I woke up, I was so paranoid. I kept looking out my window to make sure 12 wasn't outside ready to air me out. I think this dream was just trying to tell me that I was dehydrated and I needed to drink more water. I had another one that gave me a similar feeling. In the dream, I was sleeping so I didn't think it was a dream. And then someone started knocking on my window. But I was on the 2nd floor so I was confused. Why is someone on my 2nd floor window knocking? And then slowly, the knock started getting louder and louder. It got to the point where they were about to break the window. So I'm just like, bro, leave me alone, get out of here. Cause whoever was knocking sounded so desperate to get in. The knocking started to freak me out, so I hid under my blanket. Cause you know, that's what you're supposed to do when you're scared. When you do that, the blanket shields you from any evil around you. Everybody knows that. So anyways, I'm under there saying my prayers and then the knocking stops. So I'm like, okay, cool, they left me alone. This nigga done broke through the window and started walking towards me. I got so scared that I woke up and I was in a pool of cold sweat. Then I had these dreams where I just forget how to function. Like there was one where I got off the bus after school and I started walking home. Then all of a sudden my legs turned into ramen noodles and I couldn't keep my balance. And so I kept on falling down and everyone else was just watching me thinking I was on 5 tablespoons of heroin. No one even tried to help me or anything. They just watched me bust my head on the sidewalk. I had a similar dream where I was at a grocery store pushing a shopping cart. And then out of nowhere I forget how to open my eyelids. I was trying so hard just to squint my eyes and nothing was working. Eventually I couldn't even see anything anymore, but I was still pushing the shopping cart. I probably ran over like 5 ankles in that dream. I couldn't do anything about it though, my eyelids were stuck. Speaking of stuck, I get sleep paralysis from time to time. If you don't know what it is, pretty much it's when your brain wakes up but your body doesn't. So you're trapped in this stage of sleep where you're awake but you can't move. And since your brain is half asleep, you start seeing some crazy shit. And it's almost always this dark demon looking thing staring into your soul. And trust me, this is the worst thing that could happen to you. I wouldn't even wish this on my worst enemy. Well, maybe I would. Now thankfully, I only saw the dark figure once. So I woke up, right, and I couldn't move. I was just laying there helplessly. And then I started to feel some strange energy in the room. I couldn't move my eyes either, but in the corner of my sight, there was this black figure moving real slow. At first I was like, oh, that's my brother. But nah, I was wrong because the thing got in my vision and it was this tall, skinny looking thing in the darkness. It stared at me for like 5 seconds and then my body woke up and it went away. And I was so afraid to go back to sleep. I just stayed up for the rest of the night in constant fear that something was in my room. Wow, I'm realizing that most of these dreams are kind of traumatizing. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I had some other dreams that I wanted to talk about, but if I did, YouTube would have deleted my channel, so that's it. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you didn't like the video, I hope you get sleep paralysis. Okay, bye, that's it.